Well, when I spoke to them earlier, we discussed how the making of their latest film turned the British actors into nostalgics.
I got very emotional. It may partly be something to do with my age and something to do with the fact that a lot of it is to do with memory and old associations and earlier days, which, that will instantly set the taps running for me.
But I was going to ask you about that, Ian, this business of the wisdom of age and, the foolishness of youth, which is very much what the film, for me, that's what I took away from it.
I have no assumptions about superiority just because I'm older, no. I think maybe that's the wisdom you learn, that as you get older, is that you're never going to understand it, and you accept it, whereas youth has all the answers, doesn't it? I don't have any answers any longer. Do you?
Certainly not superiority. No, I do find that I have a much more urgent feeling to enjoy myself now.
I thought you were going to say an urgent need to go to the lavatory.
That as well, yeah.
I tell you what I don't much like about modern life is that there seems to be an awful lot of technology that takes over your life. You don't seem to be able to contact people except through all these machines. The idea of talking to someone face to face, touching each other, for goodness sake, looking at each other. People don't look at each other in the street. They miss the love of their life who's walked by because they're on the phone talking to... Who are they talking to? I don't know.
Just going back to the film, apart from the business of age and youth and so on, it's obviously with the mutants and the persecution of the mutants, it's about humanity's inability to tolerate difference, isn't it?
Well, when Bryan Singer asked me to be in these films all those years ago, he sold it to me on just this point. He said, as a gay man, you can identify with the mutants. People who have talents are remarkable people, but are despised by society because they're different. And the demographic for the readership of the comics, I don't know if it's true of the films, is young blacks, young Jews, and young gays who do unfairly feel that they're being despised by a society that doesn't quite understand them. In many areas of the world, gay is still a mutancy which is clearly not tolerated in some societies. I mean, you can be put to death for your sexuality. Not in this country. We've advanced. It's been one of the great joys of my life.
You say that, though, but then you've got UKIP, the rise of UKIP, which is pretty intolerant towards immigrants, for example. Also, you've got a UKIP candidate in the Newark by-election.
I detect those nasty words that come out of people's mouths is shouting into the wind. They know it's over. And people will shout louder and louder because they're so frustrated that their opinions and their prejudices have not been confirmed by the rest of society. I'm very optimistic that actually things are changing. Here, not everywhere in the world.
So what do you make of the UKIP leader, for example, saying this weekend that most people over 70 are uncomfortable with homosexuality?
Well, he hasn't talked to this over 70-year-old or this one. I think, frankly, Farage needs to get out more.
We've been talking about Twitter and so on. If you could, each of you, write a hashtag that best sums up your romance. I know, I'm very... Do you mind holding it up again? I think that is so sweet. Even though, look, the Lancastrian holds it one way and the Yorkshireman the other.
Yes, I'm upright, he is horizontal.